All right, peeps, welcome again to another episode of Creators Cawna. And tonight we have a special guest. Listen,
Let me
I
start off
just don't
from
know
here.
where to start because it's
All right.
like,
It's so many
do I say
ways.
Amber? Do I
You can say Amber. You can say Amber's Modern Life. You can say whichever.
Okay.
It's
I
all
want
good.
you to introduce yourself first.
All right.
So we have a multi.
Hyphenate.
All
What's
right,
up,
there you
y'all?
go.
It's Amber's Modern Life here, aka the waviest. Your favorite host. Your favorite. Yeah, you call me an influencer. You know.
Why?
I be
I mean, you are an
influencing.
influencer.
I be influencing.
Yeah.
Don't let that go over the head. Hello.
Yo, you seen the nails?
Hello. And I did it
All right.
myself. Bow, bow.
Wait, you actually sat down and learned how to do it?
Yeah, so evidently it started off as I had toyed with the idea of doing my nails.
Okay.
There's no acrylic on this. It's like it's
There's no acrylic, so obviously,
so it's builder gel, and like I use like 3D like solid gel to like get the little ornaments and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then like to shape the flower here, and then I bought little decorative dots and things and just put it together. And then this is an encapsulated nail, so like it has glitter and stuff, and I just filed it down so that.
That's mad work.
Yeah, actually, it didn't take me too long to do it. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Like I said, it started off as a like project at the end of September. I was just like, I wonder if I can do this. So I went to the beauty supply store, bought a bunch of cheap nail polish, got the little dotting tools and like stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. But realized I needed UV gel and started kind of like slowly building from there. It's been a lot of fun though. It's very relaxing.
So could you be classified as a nail tech?
No.
No.
No, I did not go to school for this. I do not have formal training. I don't even use like the drill bits to do it. Like I filed with like these
hand file?
Yeah.
It takes a while though, right?
It takes a while, but it's not as long because it's like these were already like pre-shaped. So I just have to cut it a bit and just file it to how I would want it to.
Okay.
I'm still learning because I've only been doing this 2 months, but I can definitely.
Wait, you've been doing it 2 months? You only been doing that for 2 months?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen you like a long time.
You've seen me with nails, but this is like 2 months I'm doing them on by myself.
Yeah. So you were paying for them at all.
Yeah, I was going to get my nails done, or I get like press-ons and stuff, and I was just like, and that's the thing, these are press-ons. They're not like I can take them off whenever I want.
Okay, cool.
So it's just like, all right, I'm tired of these. Boop, 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 boop. Off next. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Allows me to get into my creativity.
Okay. I could see a lot. I could see you.
Yeah.
Getting into with the creative aspect of you putting colors, a line.
Yeah, making colors to
That's pretty dope. So so explain to us who's Amber. Like, what does Amber do?
Amber is a lady who wears a lot of different hats. Not
the hat lady.
But you know what I mean?
No, because when you came with that hat, I was like, whoa. Hey.
I was like, hey, see? You see it? Hello. A lot of hats, a lot of good hats. But I work in production. I've directed magazine covers.
Okay.
Like on the smaller scale. So one day you might see my name in Essence. You never pay. Never know.
So this is like something you went for school for, I'm assuming, right?
So I didn't go to school for that. It's funny. I think growing up, I always loved music videos. And I always thought that,
really?
I love watching, like, because that's when, wait, can we curse on this?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I want to make sure. Hey.
It's a safe space for creators.
All right. I just wanted to ask questions. They ain't want to, vibe check, but nah.
Listen, go do your thing, man.
But nah, that's when Nickelodeon used to be Nickelodeon, and you used to see a lot of black artists on that channel. You would see Destiny's Child, you would see Christina Aguilera, Mario, B2K, like everybody. And the first video that I remember being in such awe about was Say My Name by Destiny's Child, which I think was directed by Hype Williams. I believe so. I don't remember. And the different colors. Like they went from blue to white to red, not in particular, to red, to orange, to brown. And it was really cool to see like how it tapped into that late 90s kind of new millennium kind of vibe that everybody was going for. Shot like wide lens shots,
Yeah.
fisheye lens, like that
Yeah, all
kind
that
of
stuff.
vibe
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
That
And
Y2K type of vibe. Yeah, yeah.
and I was always interested in that, but I didn't know what it was called. But I always loved music videos, and like I remember being a kid and just like, hey, I was like, you ever listen to a song and you're like, huh, I wonder if the music video should look like this. And then when you
Yeah,
see
you
the
plan
music
it
video,
out
you're
in your head.
like, why does it look like that? Like, I get it,
Yeah, yeah.
but why does it look like,
Why
you
is
know what I
this?
mean?
It's not there.
I was
That
like,
it's not
but
over
this
here. But you could
could
have
have
did
been,
this.
okay, you know what? I'm not getting paid for this, sure.
Yeah.
But I've also, like, back to talking about directing, my background is actually in journalism. I started off as an on-air radio host in undergrad and worked my way up to being a music director for a little while. Then I transferred and started writing on the more music journalism side. So that was a lot of fun. I've interned for a few festivals. Like that's where I really got my start. That's also how I started off in production. Was working festivals.
Oh, really? You did production also? Mm-hmm. What was your biggest production that you would?
Not biggest production, but I was like PA. So I was
nice.
doing
That's
like
dope.
PA interning and
Oh
stuff.
wow, that was great. Like, walking
Yeah.
around, seeing different roles, learning different stuff.
It was cool, but I wear comfortable sneakers. Wear comfy shoes. I'm telling you,
What are you
man.
trying to say? The director?
No,
like,
it's
you
not
were-
even that. It's that like
You were a
people
PN? Like, I don't
people
understand.
overestimate and think that you're not going to be doing a lot because like you wear comfortable shoes because you're on your feet all day.
Hot summer days.
Hot summer days, but you're also on your feet all day, and it's like don't wear sneakers that like you would get crushed if they get messed up. Like wear sneakers that, like they don't have to be beat up. That's not what I'm saying. They don't gotta be beat up, but like
but
just wear
comfortable.
just comfy shoes. And that was fun. And then by the time I was out of college, I started interning for Curly Girl Collective.
Wait, what year was this?
That was I graduated 2017.
From where?
U Albany, UA, you know. Yes, sir.
I'm crying. Oh,
Listen.
So you went to UA and then what?
I went to Kingsborough first, and then I
Okay.
transferred to UA. Graduated from UA, and then I started. Started as a social media intern for Curly Girl Collective, the creators of Curl Fest. Much love to them.
Oh yeah. There's your one did the curl for. Oh, that makes sense.
And that's how I got tapped into the beauty side.
Wait, they go way back like 20.
They just celebrated. This year was 10 years. This year was the 10th anniversary.
Oh.
So it was really cool. Getting to work with Black women. Like I am grateful to say that all of my internships were actually with Black-owned businesses.
Okay.
Like that's something I don't take lightly because that's one thing I appreciate is that in my experience they've always poured back in to us.
Yeah.
And like even if we weren't interning with them, they would throw a play at us like, "Hey, there's this. Would you guys be interested in doing that?"
Oh, nice.
So it was definitely a very beautiful moment. Made a lot of good friends out of that I still keep in touch with to this day. But yeah, I started off as social media intern. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed working with them. And then I started freelancing because the jobscape was like, okay, well, I still need to still got to pay for things. So I'm going to start freelancing. And I freelanced for a little bit. Then I moved into social media strategy, which I realized.
Wait, a lot of people don't understand what's that. What is...
social media strategy is essentially like it's more than just creating the content. It's like the calendar of like, okay, campaigns. It's talking about working with marketing teams, depending on like a big or small. Depending on how big or small the company is, if you're working with a client, like you could be agency side. I was not agency side, thankfully.
You're freelance.
Yeah, that's oof. God bless the agencies.
Why? Why so?
Nothing wrong with it. It's just like it's very cutthroat. So if you are not made for that realm, you will absolutely be eaten up alive. Damn. Now it's like you gotta really
friends, or you've been, or your friends.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that work like agency side, where it's like you have to have a very thick skin.
Okay.
put it that way. But yeah, so working with them, working with different brands across the board, and then also still doing like influencer stuff in between.
Okay.
Like that's when I was still doing like product reviews, which was a lot of fun. I also used to do a series on Instagram, like with my blog, which I'll talk about a little later.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, just kind of navigated my way, and about maybe this was like 3, 4 years ago, I realized how much I hated social strategy. And I was just like, fuck this. I don't want to do it anymore.
What made
And
you love it in the first place? Like, you didn't like was it a job to you initially?
it put food on the table, you know.
Okay.
It was I enjoyed it at first, but then after a while I was like,
Did you feel like it's more so? Did you work a lot of black owned businesses? Like,
not
no.
always. Not always, no.
Do you feel the need that you would have wanted to like help them out in a sense of strategizing their?
Yeah, definitely would have loved to help him out, but it was a lot of also where people think that being a social strategist means that you're a social media manager, and that's two different things.
So wait, what's the difference?
So the difference is that social media management is literally the management of the social pages, like community, like tapping, like doing community management, filtering comments, answering questions. Like those are all different people that should be doing that, but a lot of people will make like 3, 4 jobs for one person. Yeah, and answering questions, putting up captions. Like if they give you a pool of pictures, you gotta follow the brand voice. You gotta follow the tone of which you're speaking. Like tone is like some brands have certain tones. Like might be a sarcastic tone. Some might be very friendly. Some might be very succinct and to the point. You got to make sure that you understand the brand's tone because, like, say how you and I are having this conversation. Like, who could I use as an example? Like, we couldn't talk like this back and forth on like Dove's account. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Like they have a certain way that they speak to people
Okay.
because they have like not a brand identity, but they'll be like the target audience. They'll make like their individual person like, oh, it's the everyday, like the everyday Joe. This person is between the ages of 25 and 34 and XYZ down the line.
And they stick to that throughout.
Yes, but with modification as it goes on. Like that's more on the strategy side. Like you would be paying attention to like, okay, you're creating things for a target audience, you're creating things for potential brand partnerships and so on and so forth. And I just got tired of it because it felt like I was losing a lot of myself, but also I noticed that with doing social strategy, I wasn't taking as many pictures of myself because everything was like about the brand. But that was just me.
Do you feel like that blocked your creativity, like being like you can't even have an input into like what you're actually producing?
Yes, because some people are sensitive about their shit, which is very fair because we all should be. We're creatives. We're going to be sensitive about what we create. I think the other thing too is that some people were not as open to step outside the box. So like when there was an account that I used to run and grateful to have grown them to like 200K from like I think it was like 100. They were just under 100K, and I got them to 200K on Instagram, which was a lot of fun. But I didn't do it by myself.
How did you do that?
I didn't do it alone. I did it with the team. I mean, I just looked at all the pain points that a lot of the audience kept like bringing up in comments. So I was like, okay, let me write down some notes. I was like, let me try writing this. Like, so I started writing more witty content, which is like that's what a lot of like I did like little bits of copywriting before. So that's like that's more like agency stuff like I've worked on, which is a lot of fun. But that realm, that one you got to have a little bit more freedom, just a little bit, depending on who you're working with. It's a little bit more freedom. But again, that's when I realized I'm like, oh, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. And I actually saw a listing on on LinkedIn for a creative producer role at this agency. And I'm like, wow, I can do stuff like this. And didn't get the job, but it was like, oh.
Did you get a job?
No, I didn't get it. I didn't have enough. Well,
followers?
not followers. I didn't have enough experience at the time. because wasn't PAing like consistently.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I was doing it like 4 or 5 years at the time. Like now I have like 4 years of like production experience. So now I can apply for that and be fine.
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, I do it.
Okay.
I do it.
That makes sense.
But yeah, just like been in love with it ever since.
Mm-hmm.
One of my first big PA roles was for an editorial publication for their Art Basel issue, which was really, really cool. Shot that in Spring Studios, which was massive. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but their budget
what year
was
was
insane. This was 2021.
Oh, wow.
So it's like their budget was insane, but it was like seeing celebrity hairstylists that I look up to, and I'm like, I'm just standing. I'm like, just standing on set, having a conversation about black hair. No big deal. Can't fangirl because I'm on the clock, but I'm like, wow, this really happened. This is awesome.
I guess that leads you to doing more PA stuff, right?
Yeah, but also it's like a lot of my friends are in that realm too. So a lot of my friends, like, they work in, like, set design, or they do carpentry, or they're videographers. And
Carpentry?
They work.
Oh, nice.
So it's, like, a lot of different things. But, like, even going back to, like, my heritage, like, my grandfather was a carpenter. So it's, like, I'm very familiar with that. I don't know how to make things. I am not Bobisha the Builder. I can absolutely direct someone to do it, though. I am not Bobisha the Builder, but, I can follow a map and instructions.
Okay, that
That
makes
is
sense.
the question.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I think it's something I'm proud of, especially being Jamaican, is like to know that.
Are you Jamaican?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Wait, are you?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
We had the whole conversation about this. We definitely had a conversation.
Yes.
We had a conversation because our people are from the same part of.
You said you were from Mandeville.
My family is from Mandeville.
Some shop, right?
Yeah, they have a flower shop down there, and they have some.
Wait, what's your last name?
My last name is Spencer, but the flower shop is Stevenson.
That's your dad's side or mom's side?
That's my mother's side. My dad is Black American.
Himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your mom's from Jamaica, from Mandeville.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think we were actually talking about. I was from like near Water Avenue.
Yes.
So you were from the same area, right?
Yeah.
Also, right? Where your mom live?
My mother is from West Road.
West Road.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's right in my backyard.
That's where my mother come from. Yeah. My mother come from West Road, and my granny is from. It's a small town, like the first 20 minutes after you leave from the Clarendon-Manchester border, coming from Clarendon. I think it's a small town.
Like Tollgate?
No.
Like between Clarendon and Mandeville.
No, it's in yeah.
Porus?
Yeah, Porus.
Grandmother from Porus?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, we literally live in the same like.
That's so crazy. We'll talk about this when we get out. We gonna talk about that a little later.
So wait. So your mom like moved to West Road from Porus?
No, my mother is from West Road. My grandmother is from Porus.
Your mom grew up in West Road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Have you been?
Mm-hmm. Many times.
Okay. You have a family house out there?
Yeah, we do. That we do.
Nice.
And
And you went to Porus?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, been over there. Just been in walking, climbing up the Guinea trees and picking out Guinea.
You climb Guinea tree?
Yes.
Can I climb Guinea tree?
Yes.
You?
Yes.
Yes.
Been there. Been love to go climb up a Guinea tree. Yes.
You jump on that tree?
No, sir. I'm gonna climb back down and go back my business same way.
Yo, I'm crying.
No, son,
What was the best experience like going back to Jamaica? Wait, when was the first time you went to Jamaica?
The first time I ever went to Jamaica, I was 4 years old, and we stayed in Montego Bay with my uncle.
So when was the first time you actually
Gone
teenager?
I didn't go back until I was an adult. I didn't come back. Yeah, so I went as a child, up until I was probably about 10 or 11.
You had a lot of cousins and all that?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're all over the place. And then, being Jamaican, you have cousins in England and Canada and,
all over,
back around. And
so when you went back there in your 20s, how was that experience?
It was interesting to see how much has changed. To see how much, it sucks, especially now that like Jamaicans can't really go to their beaches for free. A lot of it is covered by the hotels.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
sad,
like
right?
when I heard that people had to pay for Ocho Rios, I was like, oh, that's crazy! Wow,
Yeah.
paying for Ochi is that's something. But to get back to the earlier point of what we
Yeah.
were talking about, and talking about carpentry and like my friends working in different fields. Like one of my
Okay.
friends, he went to school for welding and does welding and things now, which
nice.
is really cool. But yeah, like surrounding myself amongst other creatives. So a lot of times we're just like throwing alley oops in each other's direction, throwing money at each other. Like, hey, you can do this. Hey, you can do
Yeah.
this. Hey, you can do this. But it's definitely been a lot of fun. I love being my own boss because though I absolutely love the comfort of a 9 to 5, I've also recognized that it's not for me and it's not inherently a bad thing. And it's not from the lens of like, oh, I just like from some pretentious shit where it's like, oh no, it's like no, I can do it. It's just not universe is like, no, that's not for you. You need to be doing this.
So you've been freelancing ever since.
Yeah, I've been freelancing. I've worked 9 to 5s in between that time. Like I've worked gigs and then like I got like I worked a job and I've gotten laid off.
Okay.
Like one of the last ones I worked with, I got
And
laid off.
that kind of like made you more discouraged from like the 9 to 5.
It was very jarring because that was when they started doing like big layoffs. That was when like the big
COVID?
Facebook and Google. Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
no, that was like 22. So we
Oh,
were
okay.
already deep into COVID. So it was
Okay.
like that was when Google was doing the layoffs, Facebook, everywhere, left, right, and center. Everybody was getting laid off, and it was really jarring to see like so many people, and like a sea of seeing like 3,000 job applications on LinkedIn, and you're just like, but
3,000.
yeah, this is not an exaggeration. There will be like 3,000, like depending upon the job. If it's a big name company, they'll have
Yeah.
like a lot of them. And I say this all the time, where it's like they'll be horny for applicants. And what I mean by that is that like
I know.
they
yeah,
know who
yeah,
they're
yeah.
hiring because it's already they have to legally put the job out because they already know they're gonna do an internal hire. But it's like 3,000, my guy. You could have closed this at 200.
Yeah. 3,000 kind of wild.
3,000. You're not even getting through all of them. You're not even looking at everybody.
Like,
Let's
who's
be serious.
doing all of that? Who's
Like they're not combing through. It takes them like 0.3 of a millisecond to read a resume. They're not looking at all these. That's stupid. But yeah, and that's one thing I'm grateful about with my friends. Is like a lot of my gigs have been word of mouth.
already?
So it's been a lot of my gigs are word of mouth. So much love to my friend.
So what inspired you to be this creative influencer?
It's so funny because it's like I don't really look at myself as an influencer, but I do recognize when my influence is there.
Okay.
I see y'all, but nah.
Yeah.
But nah. I have always been a whimsical kid.
Okay.
I have always had an eye for fashion. Like I grew up. Like my pops was a real inspiration to my style because he was the type of person that had everything in his closet from silk to fur and everything in between. Was also like peak 70s kind of guy, whereas my mom, she has more of like a Caribbean style. Like she have like more like the rings and more like the not gaudy, but like or like too flashy. But you know, like
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
and you know exactly what I mean by
Yes,
that. It's
yes, yes.
like, and then even like growing up in Flatbush and like being Jamaican, it was just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, this is not to say that like it's different for other different Caribbean nationalities, but I would say it's like being Jamaican and growing up, or being of Jamaican descent and growing up in Flatbush is like an experience like no other. Like,
For the like with the parade and all that stuff.
yeah, parades, but also
Food,
like growing
culture.
up with black women who wore different color hairstyles,
All
different
the
color
time.
hair, and like the nails would be super long, and they'd wear big gold jewelry, and they'd be going out Friday night. Like I remember being in the hair salon getting my hair braided, and then they would see like the women getting like their quick weave, their 27-piece quick weave with bright colors, and it would look so cool because they were going to like a bashment or something. It was so fire, and I'm like, wow. I want to be like y'all when I grow up, bright colors and all that shit. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I guess the other thing too is that it took me a while to like find that or be comfortable in that. It's like, okay, well, this is who I am. Like, I didn't really get to that until I cut my hair off.
Okay.
So once I did that, it was like, oh, this is really freeing. Y'all weren't lying. Because, like, I'd always toyed with the idea. And I was always told, like, oh, no, short hair is more maintenance. Went natural. Cut. I was like, I'm going to cut this shit off. It's just hair. It'll grow back. And never. Huh? Yeah. Been short ever since. But I've done, like, all different kinds of colors.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, the fact that Flatbush had a heavy influence on your career path was really great. It's a really phenomenal thing, you know?
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's really fun because it's like a lot of people that I've mentioned, like I was just talking about, like my creative friends, a lot of them I've known from childhood.
Okay.
Or like I've met them through other friends that I've known in childhood. It would be like 6 degrees of separation for sure. And you're just like, how the hell do y'all know each other? It's like, we went to school together. It's like, how do y'all know each other? Oh, we went to like Sunday school like 1,000 years ago.
You grew up in the church?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like that was
Caribbean, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like I didn't grow up in the Caribbean church. I grew up in like one of them bigger churches.
Oh, okay.
So it was just
Your
like
dad was Christian. Your mom and dad Christian.
my mom is. My dad was just like,
yeah,
he believed in the idea of religion. He just didn't care for church.
Got you.
But yeah, it was just like seeing all that, especially seeing like black kids my age, is just like it was cool because growing up, I went to school in like Marine Park, so that was something. Like I went to, and then from like junior high on, that's when I started being around more black kids, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Because listen, I know what it's like to be the only black girl in the class, so.
Wow.
That's another rabbit hole for another day. But it definitely, all to say, is like, as a kid, I always saw myself being like, when I'm like, I would just throw a number out. I'm going to just throw numbers. Like, when I'm going to be 25, I'm going to be so fucking cool. Like, not fucking cool, but like, I'm going to be so cool. And like, had this whole timeline in my head. And I was like, I got to 25. I'm like, I'm pretty damn cool, ain't I? Fuck yeah.
So wait, so how do you balance like staying motivated through your ups and downs?
I take time to be introspective.
Okay.
And I recognize like my wellness. Like I'm a very firm believer in like practicing mental wellness and, you know, having the proper channels and avenues to kind of explore those feelings, which is why it's like shout out to Black women therapists. But yeah, it's definitely a very freeing experience because you start to unlearn who you were taught to be and become more of who you are as a person. Not who your friend is, not who your parents want you to be, but who you are as a person.
Okay.
And then you realize you're like, wow, like this isn't who I am. This is who I was never this person. I was never trying to be this person. And you get more comfortable in your skin.
Okay.
And then I would say like for me, I became more comfortable in my skin like when I transferred to UA. Not because of being at UA, but because I was dorming. So I wasn't home. I was like, I had to learn who I was. I had to make sure, you know, do all the things. I lived in an apartment with like, and had roommates. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Just became more comfortable because that was when I cut my hair and that's when I was going through like different changes, different seasons. And like,
So can you say like now you use that same strategy going forward?
yeah, I would say that. Like I'm very introspective, so I'll be like, okay, well, what is it that I'm doing? Like what am I doing here? What are we doing?
Okay.
And if I notice that I've been in a slump, I'll be like, okay, well, I got to get myself out of it. And I think like I don't spend my days trying to be 100% every day. Like if I can find some days, some days you might be 65%.
Yeah.
Some days you might be 70%. Some days you might be 45%. Some days you might be 85%. Like I feel like we focus too much on being 100% all the time because it's like, oh, we can't show you anything that's wrong with us. I can't show you robot. Da da da. Like we're not robots. We're not fucking robots.
Yo, they let them know because I feel like half the world, like I wouldn't say half, but a fraction of the world, or a fraction of younger people these days, reflect on putting out perfection where they feel like it's not like fully compatible. It's not gonna be out or not expressing themselves to the fullest. Where they feel as if like you have to be a certain criteria or a certain part to
Yeah.
really like express oneself. And I feel like you just being yourself and expresses yourself as what you actually are is the greatest thing ever because you're being you being real to you. But I feel like this Instagram or just like internet life, social media life, is just have people in a whole chokehold where it's like you have to do this, you must do that, and if you go against that, nobody fuck with you.
Yeah, because not everybody's who they supposed to be. And that's the thing too, is that like a lot of people are just living for social media and just living for
That's fucked up, man.
it's crazy. And it's like I feel like we should have never had this much exposure to so many people in one setting. I don't think people consider that. Like we don't need to have this much access to strangers. Like we should not have this much access to strangers. Excuse me. But we do. And this is the world, like, even now, it's like they're literally trying to get rid of TikTok next month. And that's like some people have made a fortune off TikTok. People have made millions off TikTok. And it sucks that they're trying to get rid of it. And it's like, oh, unless they sell the company. And I'm like, they're not going to sell the company. What will happen? Time will tell. But again, it's just all about, I guess to your point, it's right. It's like a lot of people are perfectionists because, it's like, oh, the content's going to suck. Post it anyway. And it's like, I feel like we overanalyze how what its perception is. And some people are like, I don't want to be perceived.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like, I guess it's just all about getting over that initial hump. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, okay. It wasn't so bad.
I'll just move on and brush off and try something else.
Yeah. Or just refine it and keep going.
Exactly. So you explained to us like all the stuff that you have going on. Like being a creative is such a drag because you have to be up early, up late, working consistently. It's not where you shut off at like 4 o'clock and then go back at 7. You have to consistently keep doing the same thing over and over. Trying to find ways how to get better. How would you say you juggle like relationship, with all of this going on?
Like really like friends and and like family and love and everything.
Yeah, like family and love and everything.
There's no such thing as proper balance being a full-time creative. I will say that now. There's always going to be one thing that doesn't necessarily get intentionally neglected, but that's just what it is. It's just like for now it's a temporary thing, but it's not a permanent thing, and it sucks, but especially living in the economy that we're living in, it's inevitable that one thing, like you might have a love life and a successful career, but you may not necessarily be getting a lot of sleep. You might be getting great sleep, having in a loving relationship, but you're not getting a lot of money. Or you could be doing the last of the two, where it's like great job, great sleep, relationships with folks are not that great. But it's all about intentionality and making the time for what you want to make the time for instead of making time for like slackness and all kind of other shit. It's definitely important to foster those friendships and relationships because even though we always say like, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead, I'm like, I'm here to tell you guys, don't do that. You're literally killing yourself. Don't do that. Don't do it. I'm seriously.
Say it louder for us in the back, cause
don't do it. You're gonna drop dead before you turn 35.
Yes.
Go on and go along.
No, I don't know. I mean, I feel like people think that grinding. This is gonna get you where you are. You want to be.
See, and that's the thing. I'm actually like anti-grind culture. And it's so funny because living in a city like New York, everybody's like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
I have learned and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be boom, boom, boom. Like, it feels because it's like the hustle and bustle of the city. Like, everybody, you have to be doing something.
Do you feel that's bad, though? Do you feel like that's a bad thing for just keep consistently going nonstop?
It's definitely a catch-22. But to a certain extent, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. And with that in mind, it's always important to have something for yourself.
Okay.
So, like, for example, like my thing for myself is doing my nails. Like, if I had $1 for every person that has asked me, who is your nail tech? How can I support? I'm the nail tech, and I am not licensed, so please do not ask me. There's like, can you do my nail? I'm like, I don't want to make money off of every single hobby that I do. Because this is just, like, for me, this is just, like, my way to, like, just have fun and just kind of, this is my arts and crafts. Nice. And we're not doing enough arts and crafts that don't make us money just for fun. Just, like, something fun. And it doesn't have to be something new. It could be something that, like, you started when you were a kid. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, this perfect thing that you're making a TikTok during. Like, I was just, like I was talking to you earlier. I'm like, yeah, I have a video about my nails that I talked about on TikTok. I'm like, yeah, did my nails. It was fun. You know, cute little something for the holidays.
That's her being a creator. She's super tired.
Uh-oh. Excuse me.
Perfect example.
Perfect example. This is why you say, make sure you get your rest, which is crazy because I've been sleeping all weekend long. But nothing to say.
Yeah, because you said you were sick, right?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling... well, I wasn't sick outright, but I just wasn't feeling well. So I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to sleep. But we're all good now. Well, nothing, no illness, no COVID related. I just wasn't feeling well.
Where do you see yourself, I would say, like 3 years from now?
3 years from now, directing.
Directing what?
A wide array of things. Music videos, commercials, magazine editorial covers. Like, I have the eye for it. And it's like, I know that... and then also learning, like, bits about cameras. And, like, being a content creator, you know, how to edit videos and, like, I had to learn how to edit in Final Cut Pro for one of my finals in undergrad. So I know how to use Final Cut Pro.
Oh, nice. That's really dope.
Things like that, like learning DaVinci Resolve, like learning different things. Like, yes, I want to do this, but I have to learn how to use the programs that'll get me to this point. Like, even learning, like, you know, like Adobe, like, man, I'm about to age myself so crazy. But back in the MySpace era, kids, once upon a time, before, you know, when the dinosaurs roamed across.
Say your age without saying your age.
Not too much. I'm not that old. But I was a self-taught graphic designer. That's something I did for fun. Like, I used to, like, do like designs and stuff and just have fun with it. For no other thing, I made all my friends' MySpace pages look lit, and then, like, when Twitter used to have backgrounds, I used to make people backgrounds and stuff. Good times, fun times, but I don't know, got out of it, and then they stopped letting us do the backgrounds, which sucks because that was a great fun time. But yeah, a lot to say. Is that, like, getting back into your hobbies, finding your way back. Okay. And then when you find your way back and you have those full circle moments, like one of my full circle moments this year was hosting Culture Check, which I was doing Black City Media at Crowfest.
Yeah, I remember
on the pink carpet. That was like, I was like, wow, this is cool.
The pink carpet, that's great.
That's what they call it. They call it the pink carpet. I was like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Pretty sure you got like a lot of content and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, a lot of good content. But just overall, just being myself and, like, having, like, that was the one thing I enjoyed. And the one thing that I heard, like, with feedback-wise, like, from the people who decided to take part of it, they were like, yo, I love, like, you're asking questions as a host because, like, we'll have fun, but I'm also going to be serious at the same time. Yeah, it's like, seriously unserious. More or less. Seriously unserious.
So, doing all of this, what would you say your major setback as being a female creative, like
Um,
working in the male dominant industry?
as
Where
a personally, not taking more risks.
okay,
Not taking more risks. Excuse me. I should have enunciated that better. But definitely not taking more risks with myself. Being afraid of what the outcome might be. Not necessarily thinking it's gonna be negative, but it's like, dang, what can I do? But I think getting over that hump and recognizing that other folks believe in my content, and it's just like your biggest supporters are always strangers. Not to say that my community does not support my thing. That is not what I'm saying, y'all.
what are you saying?
But what I'm saying is that like
'Cause
sometimes it's not to say that you don't look to your friends for support, because you always look to your friends and your family and whomever for support. But sometimes your biggest supporters will be strangers. Like, and it's not a bad thing. It's like, that's what it is. And it's about, you never know who's watching your content. You really never know who's watching. Like, you never know who's watching.
I feel like that's the thing. People worry about who's gonna watch it from who's not gonna watch it, but just post it. You won't know who's gonna watch it until you post it. You know what I mean?
Oof. Yeah. Yeah, you are right.
It's
You never
something.
know until you post it.
It's something to struggle with, right?
Yeah, because the call was definitely coming from inside the house with that one. Crazy. But yeah, like just posting it and it's just like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. So what would you say as we wrap up? What would you say you would tell the younger you, or this little brown girl, black girl that's looking
Yeah.
up to you and want to be Amber?
I would tell this little black girl to ignore those who never aspire to do things like this, because a lot of times, like, you might tell somebody, I'm a firm believer in not telling people what I'm doing until it's done and the ink is dry, not
Yeah.
because I'm trying to be secretive, but more so like I kind of want to enjoy this
Mm.
for myself. Like, even when, like, earlier this year, I had the honor and privilege of being part of a Nike campaign that's still
Nice.
on the sneakers app, right?
Wait, it's
And
still on the app?
oh yeah, you just got to scroll all the way down to like April, but you'll see me there,
Okay.
do rag and all.
Oh, nice,
But
nice, nice.
yeah, and did that. I had only told like 3 people, and these 3 people I knew were not going to repeat anything. So it's just like, oh man, this is awesome, and very excited, and just kept it to myself because legally I had to.
Yeah.
But kept it to myself. It was a lot of fun. Very grateful for that opportunity, and looking forward to the more that are coming my way, and just kind of getting out of my own way. And then I think another thing too is never let go of your inner child, but also remember your inner teenager. Because we always talk about like, oh yeah, your inner child be happy, but remember your inner teenager, they need love too. And your inner, pre-adolescent, your inner preteen, all of that. Like, don't ever let go of like your childlike wonder, because I feel like having a little bit of that, like, I'm not saying be childish, obviously, but like, just have a little bit of that childhood spark. Like, whether it's something silly, like I don't know, you buy rain boots specifically to jump in puddles when it fucking rains. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be anything, but like, don't lose that childlike spark.
Okay. All right, that was very inspirational.
Hey, appreciate it.
You did a lot. You came a long way. You
Yeah.
did a lot. And you
Yeah,
still
lived a
fighting,
lot of
still
different
going.
lives.
Yeah. Did you not tired? Are you not tired? Like,
Nah, we just getting started. That's the craziest thing. We just getting started.
all
No,
right.
son,
So I
it's
guess we
fun
gotta
though.
have a part 2 of this because
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
yeah, because I mean you have a lot of gems, and I feel like there's more to come, as you said.
Yeah, definitely more to
And
go.
I'm really proud of you, and I saw you in the space, and I was like, yo, this girl is so creative. Like I feel like she just has this whole thing going on in her head.
Oh, thank you. I
And
appreciate that, man.
luckily, I experienced it, and I like
Yeah.
the fact that you came from a humble beginning. You did your thing. You never stop, regardless of you being a female. Just be you and keep pushing your content out, keep creating, And then trust me, you're gonna see it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You're gonna see it. All right, so thank you for stopping by.
Yes, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Really appreciate you stopping by, dropping the gems for the people. But yeah, guys, so that was Amber.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. Until next time, y'all.
Peace out. Creators Cawna, big up.
Yes.